The first time I saw her, I almost mistook her for a hallucination. It was past midnight, and the city's neon lights reflected off the rain-slick streets. A figure moved gracefully through the mist, her silhouette humanoid but impossibly elegant, limbs longer than human proportions, skin that shimmered like molten silver, and eyes that glowed faintly violet in the dim light. I froze, unsure if I should approach or flee. "Hello," I called, my voice trembling. She turned toward me, and for a moment, I felt the air itself tighten around my chest, as if the night itself had grown curious. Her lips curved into a smile, but there was no warmth behind it, just quiet, serene intelligence. I'm not going to hurt you," I stammered. Her voice was musical, a kind of harmonic resonance that made my teeth tingle. "I mean no harm," she said, stepping closer. "I only need," she paused, tilting her head, "your guidance." I blinked. Guidance? Of what? She didn't answer immediately, instead observing me like a scientist studying a specimen. There was an elegance in her posture, a quiet power that felt alien yet familiar, as though she had walked among humans before but had chosen not to stay. I finally said, "Guidance for what?" "For survival," she replied simply. Then, without another word, she vanished into the fog. Over the next few days, I tried to convince myself it had been a dream. But everywhere I went, I felt her presence, like a ripple in the air, a gentle nudge at the edge of my vision. And then she appeared again, this time on the roof of my apartment building, silhouetted against the city skyline. "I followed you," she said, her glowing eyes fixed on mine. "I need a place to rest. I need your protection." I wanted to ask why she couldn't just find shelter elsewhere, but there was something in her tone, a blend of urgency and fragility, that made my objections feel hollow. Against my better judgment, I let her inside my apartment. She was careful not to touch anything. She didn't sleep in a bed or even sit on a chair. She merely hovered in the corner, watching me as I moved around, taking notes, observing my habits. There was an intelligence in her study, an innate understanding of human behavior that was unsettling. "You are cautious," she observed one night. "You hide your true self behind routine and habit. I admire that. It is efficient." "Efficient," I repeated, unsure what she meant. "Humans often fail because they overestimate their strength," she said. "But you understand vulnerability. That is why I am here. You are the one I choose." I laughed nervously. "You choose me? I don't even know you." Her eyes glimmered, and she stepped closer. "I will teach you. But first, you must trust me. And you must understand, I cannot survive in your world without your help." Days turned into weeks. Slowly, she integrated into my life, not fully, but carefully, like a shadow merging with light. She learned to eat our food, though she preferred something akin to energy pods I later discovered were alien in origin. She walked among humans in disguise, her shimmering skin masked by synthetic fabric that refracted light. She even laughed, though her laughter carried an otherworldly resonance that made people glance twice. And yet, there was danger everywhere. She was hunted. At first, I didn't understand who they were. Other alien factions, human agencies, mercenaries drawn by rumors of extraterrestrial life. But soon, my apartment became a fortress. Laser turrets, motion sensors, and improvised energy shields were set up in every room. She didn't ask for it, but she accepted it with quiet approval. "You are formidable," she said one night as I calibrated the defense system. "You protect what you care for with precision. That is rare among humans." "I'm just trying to survive," I admitted. "No," she said softly. "You are more than survival. You are the anchor of hope. And I have chosen hope over fear." That is why I am here, and that is why I will stay, if you will let me. The tension finally climaxed one rainy evening. A squad of black-armored humanoids, clearly not human, descended upon my building. Their weapons were strange, pulsing with energy, capable of tearing through walls and floors with terrifying ease. My apartment became a battlefield. She fought alongside me, effortlessly moving within human speed and precision. Each movement was a dance of controlled destruction. I watched as she disarmed, disabled, and incapacitated attackers while keeping me out of harm's way. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. When the last attacker fell, she stood before me, glowing faintly in the dim emergency lights, rainwater dripping from her shoulders. She looked at me, and for a moment, I saw something almost human in her eyes. Fear, relief, gratitude. "You saved me," I said, panting. "No," she replied. "We saved each other." And now, she hesitated, and then her voice dropped to a whisper. "I choose you. I choose you as my husband." I froze. My mind reeled. Me? A human? Married to this being, this alien? It felt surreal, absurd even. But then I saw the vulnerability beneath her power, the trust she had placed entirely in me. And in that moment, something inside me shifted. I choose you too, I said finally, my voice steady despite my racing heart. The days after were transformative. She didn't ask for a ceremony, but we marked our bond in a way that merged both human and alien traditions. I crafted a simple ring using materials she provided, an alloy that seemed to glow faintly, as if alive. She touched it, and a faint warmth spread across both our hands. We trained together. I learned to move with her speed, to think with her clarity. She learned patience, humor, and human subtleties that made her more relatable, yet no less awe-inspiring. The city became our playground, our laboratory, and occasionally our battlefield. And slowly, we fell into rhythm. Evenings were quiet. Sometimes we'd sit on the rooftop, watching the sunset paint the city in gold and purple hues. She would hum alien melodies, and I would listen, feeling the strange beauty in the vibration of her voice. One evening, as the sky turned a deep indigo, she leaned against me and whispered, "I never thought I could feel this with a human, but I trust you. I'll love you." I kissed her forehead, feeling her warmth seep into mine. "I love you too, and I always will." Of course, not everything was perfect. We faced threats from both her kind and ours. Governments, rogue alien factions, mercenaries, all wanted to separate us, to claim her or exploit her power. But together, we were unstoppable. Her intellect, my ingenuity, our combined courage, we became a force unlike anything the world had seen. And yet, despite all the battles and dangers, the small moments mattered most. Cooking together, learning each other's quirks, debating the ethics of alien intervention in human affairs. Those moments solidified our bond, made it more than survival, more than passion, they made it love. The final test came unexpectedly. A massive energy surge tore through the city, creating a rift between dimensions. Aliens from her world and others poured through, threatening to engulf humanity. We stood on the edge of chaos, the city burning beneath us. She looked at me, eyes glowing brighter than ever. "This is it. Together or we fail." I took her hand, feeling the pulsing warmth of her alien energy. "Together," I said. The battle was fierce, a blur of light, sound, and motion. But we emerged victorious. Exhausted, bloodied, but unbroken. And in the aftermath, as the city began to heal, she turned to me, voice soft but resolute. "You followed me into danger. You stood by me when no one else would. You are my anchor, my protector, my love. And now, as I choose my future, I choose you. Only you, my husband. I held her close, feeling the truth in her words. And I choose you. Always. Years passed. We became legends, an alien and human couple that defied expectations, faced unimaginable dangers, and forged a life together. People whispered about us, half in awe, half in disbelief. And though our days were filled with trials, love, and laughter, one truth remained constant. I had rescued her once, yes. But in choosing each other, we had both saved our worlds and each other. And every night, as she rested her head against my shoulder, I knew that the impossible had happened. She had followed me all the way home, and in doing so, we had found each other forever.